In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to create a badge and then use it. Let me give you some context for the badges I'm about to create. First, I created a badge type that was project group. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to limit access to specific quests. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got a map here and I've got this set of quests right here. And what I'd like to do is I would like to have groups take turns accessing this particular group of quests. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to limit access to this first quest to only specific students. So I'll go to badges. These are the badges I have so far. And I'm going to create 3 badges for 3 different groups, for project groups. I simply click Create Badge. I'll name it. I'm going to leave the XP at 0 because this is really an organizational badge. But if this were a badge that were a talent badge or a reward, I'd probably want to add XP here. I'm going to choose an icon. I've already created the 3 images I need and they're in my badges folder. There they are, group 1, group 2, group 3. So I'll choose group 1. And I could put a description here if I wish. I'm not going to at this time. And this is a project group type. We're going to look at tags at a later date. Sort order is probably going to be 1 because it's group 1. And I'll leave it as active. And a map transition, well, that's for another tutorial. I'll go create. So now I have this group 1 badge right here. Let me go and create the other 2. Okay, I now have these 3 group badges, which I'm going to be using as organizational badges. Notice that they're not in the right order. It's because I forgot when I created the group 2 one to give it the appropriate order. But that's okay because it's very easy to edit. Sort order 2, update. And now when I go to badges and I scroll down, there they are in order. So now I'd like to show you how it's very easy to add folks to your badges. So I'll click on that and I can either add one person or several at a time. Let's add several. All I have to do is start to type a name and that student appears. And this ends up happening quite quickly. So I've got A and B student now in there, and I can very quickly add 30 students if I wish. I'll go grant. I'll do the same thing with this badge. Right now, I've only added people to group 1 and group 2. Let's have a look at actually using these organizational badges. I'm going to go to that quest that I was looking at earlier. What I'd like is, I want only group 1 members to have access to these quests for right now. So what I'm going to do is simply give group 1 access to that initial quest. I'll click on it, I'll edit, or I can simply edit prerequisites right here. And then I can add. So I started to type group, there's group 1, and now I go save. So now we see that there are 2 prerequisites for this particular quest. One is that Welcome to ByteDeck quest, and the other is that folks need to be members of this particular group. So only A student and B student will have access to this quest. And then later, it's very easy for me to change that. I go edit, and I simply Go to the next group. So I can add a group. I can then also delete the original group or leave it present. So now we have folks in group 1 and folks in group 2 who now have access to the quest, but nobody else will. Okay, it's time for you to experiment with creating a badge. It can be an award badge that actually has XP attached to it, like this one did. Notice that this one has 30 XP attached to it. When I assign the badge to a student will receive 30 XP. Notice, granted to a student. It can be for awards, it can be for organization, or perhaps an extra XP badge. Why don't you make a few badges of your own now? Thanks for your attention.